Hello everybody, my name is Mark and I'm here today to give you a tutorial on our Rapidox SF6 and Quad Gas Analyzer, which I've got in front of me here, and I'm going to talk to you this morning about the main points of the analyzer that you can see here, and in a second video we'll go through how you actually do measurements on the analyzer. So what I've got in front of me here is our latest generation SF6 Quad Gas Analyzer. So this is a multi-gas analyzer that's designed for next generation SF6 alternative gases. It'll measure many different gases, including Novec type gases, C4, C5, as well as dry air, and of course SF6 as well. Okay, so we're going to start with an overview of the analyzer itself. First thing to say is that all our pump back analyzers are housed in a waterproof pelly case. This is a genuine pelly case, and this particular version has wheels and a handle that can extend, so you can carry this around drag it behind you to locations to do your testing. Pelly case has got a compartment here where we store the DLO couplings and other things, and we've got some storage area up in the top of the pelly case to house the hoses and other accessories that we supply with every instrument. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to go over the features that you can see here. So starting with the top panel, you can see that there is a colour touchscreen display here, and this is the main operation of the screen, and we can go into that in more detail in the video where I show you how to do a test. The analyzer has, starting here, a thermal printer which will print out your results, and that's fairly self-explanatory. The analyzer is supplied with some spare rolls of paper. Over here we have the main gas inlet. This is where the main hose is attached to do a test from a GIS, a gas insulated circuit breaker, and that's where gas up to 35 bar can be attached. So this is the main place where the analyzer is used to do sampling. Over on the other side we've got two other ports labelled B and C. Port B over here is used to transfer gas out into either a storage bag or a storage canister. This is used when things like you're doing line purging and you don't want any of the gas inside the line to escape into the atmosphere. So port B is a 10 bar outlet port, and it's the same size as port A, Rectus 21 series. However, this one is a male and this one is a female. This does mean that the same hose can be used over on port B and on port A. And then finally we have port C, which is not really used very often. It's called a bypass port. Now port C is used for primarily calibration purposes. It can also allow the analyzer to run in a continuous mode where the gas goes in here at port A and comes out in port C. But normally, for most people, it's used for calibration. It's used for testing the dew point sensor over extended periods of time where we have to have a lot of nitrogen flowing through the analyzer to do calibrations. So for most people, most of the time, only port A is used to keep things simple. If you look at the graphic artwork of the analyzer, you will see that there's various lines with arrows on it, and it is supposed to be a kind of map which shows that the gas, for example, when I do a configuration here, there will be a picture showing that the gas is going round into the analyzer and back out again. And I can demonstrate that later with a different screen. Now, moving around the analyzer, on the top we've obviously got the power switch and we've got a charger here. Now the analyzer is running off batteries, as you can see. There's no charger on here at the moment. The analyzer is charged using a charger cable which we supply with UK, EU, USA, Australian plugs for adapters, and you can operate this machine either on battery or on mains. It doesn't matter. When it's on mains, the battery is being charged while you're operating the equipment. It works exactly the same way as a laptop computer. So over here, for example, I've got my charger on a cable, so I'm going to going to connect the charger cable over there, which goes in that hole in that socket there, if I can see. There we go. And I shall take the cable round the back out of the way so we can't see it. Connect it to the electricity and switch on. And so now the machine is charging, and we can carry on using the machine just like it was on battery. What you'll notice is that this light is red, which means the battery needs charging. And when this is fully charged, this will eventually go green. And it takes about 8 hours to charge the battery completely empty to completely full. On the screen itself, you might have noticed that the battery charger has now got a lightning bolt through it, which is indicating that it's running on mains power and the battery is being charged while we use the machine. Right, the next thing on the top of the instrument is the earth location. So in many applications, this unit has to be earthed to the equipment that it's being tested against. And so we do supply a flying crocodile lead, so you can attach this onto the metal of your equipment, and that just simply plugs in there. And then the two are then completely grounded together. Moving round to the folded section of the analyzer, there are some additional features here in addition to the charger. So we have two ventilation fans, and there are fans in this to circulate fresh air inside the analyzer. Now, alongside these, we've got two things that are very important. One is a diagnostics socket here. This is normally used here in our factory to program the analyzer, but it can also be used by the customer to help us connect this analyzer, for example, directly to a laptop computer. So this port here isn't normally used unless there's maintenance issues. And alongside here on the top, you'll see that there is a USB socket as well. Alongside here, you'll see that there is a USB socket as well, and you will need a USB memory stick, and that connects into that. And when you connect your USB socket, USB plug, as I've done, you will see that in the menu, data transfer becomes possible, and you will be allowed to copy the data of your tests directly onto this. They are copied into a CSV format, which you can then put onto your computer and open in Microsoft Excel to review. Okay, so I'll just remove that. And when you remove it, you'll see that the option goes grey. Now finally, I'll just switch the analyzer off. Most importantly, down here is a fuse. And the fuse is here, and it is a T16 amp fuse, and it's very important that if the fuse has a problem and needs to be replaced, that it is replaced with exactly the same fuse. I believe the T stands for anti-surge, and it's very important that it's a T-rated fuse. On the actual artwork itself, which might be quite difficult to see, it is actually printed on the artwork the correct fuse to use. The fuse is a long type, and it fits in this special IP rated fuse holder which screws in. Now when the analyzer is shipped to the customer, we remove this fuse, and it is located up in the lid of the analyzer, and we do that for safety reasons, for transportation, because it open circuits the battery, so there's no risk of any short circuiting in transportation. And it's very important, if the analyzer is shipped anywhere, particularly by aircraft, that the fuse is temporarily removed. So I'm going to refit the fuse. It just slides into the hole in the side of the analyzer like that, and then there is a thread which you do need to tighten quite tightly because it's on an IP rated gasket. There we go. So that's now fitted, and then we can restart the analyzer. You'll see, by the way, that the battery charger continues charging even though the fuse has been removed, because they're on slightly different circuits. I'm now going to talk to you a little bit about the accessories that are supplied with the instrument. So starting with the main hose, and the main hose is extremely important for this, for using this machine. It's specially designed for SF6 and Novec gases, etc. It's manufactured with a special lining to be waterproof. So the hose that's supplied with the machine is a stainless braided swage lock type hose, and it has rectus fittings on each end which are compatible with nearly all switchgear in the world, with the right couplings. So these are very highly compatible connectors that are used on many gas analyzers in the SF6 industry and alternative gas industry. The male fitting and the female fitting, you can see here, one's got a pin inside, and the pin seals this so no gas can get inside. And on the male side there's also a closed shutter here, which is also sealed, and this means that the hose is gas tight, and when we supply it, it's actually dried and fitted with filled with SF6 or other gases like carbon dioxide, depending on the analyzer. And we do this to make sure the hose is supplied to you dry and ready to use. So the male fitting fits into the female fitting over here, and then the female fitting will fit attached to the measurement point on the electrical apparatus. And the secret to do it is you always make sure that you push the collar down with your fingers like this, and then insert the hose like that. And to remove, you just put your fingers on the collar and remove. It's as simple as that. Push your fingers down, insert the hose, and to remove again, pop out. So that's the hose, and the hose is supplied in a length of 2 meters. And this is a 2 meter hose, but we do have different sized hoses as well, up to 10 meters, I believe, that are available as an option. Over on the other side of the analyzer, I'm now going to talk about the accessories that we use on port B and port C. So starting with port B. So port B, as I mentioned earlier, is an outlet hose, and this is for dumping waste SF6 into a portable gas recovery bag, and this is generally a low pressure outlet. And we do have a polyurethane tube here that we supply with 2 female couplings on, as you can see, and this will fit onto port B like that. This is then designed to locate on a gas recovery bag alongside the analyzer. So the gas recovery bag is like a sports bag which will inflate and deflate as you collect the gas. So it's a low pressure outlet hose designed for using with a gas recovery bag. And I just remove it by holding the collar down with my fingers, as you see, push on, very easy to remove like that. If you don't want to use that accessory, or you've lost it, or you are going to be pumping into a canister, then it is possible to use this hose as well, because this hose will also fit onto the port B, as you can see. However, if you're going to be working with a gas recovery bag, it's likely that you'll need a gender changer, and this is our gender changer, and this simply fits on there like that, and then you can then attach the male side of the fitting, and then you now have a female side which will then successfully connect to your gas recovery bag, which normally has a male Delo rectus fitting on it. So the gender changer is a standard accessory that we supply. So together with these pieces of accessories, it's possible to have any combination of hose attached to any port. Finally, we supply a tube and a connector for port C, which looks like this, polyurethane tube. And this one has a small rectus, series 20, female. And again, it attaches in exactly the same way onto the fitting here. And when this is attached, then you will be able to run gases such as nitrogen through it to do calibration of the dew point sensor. So this apparatus is really used exclusively for calibration, testing, and occasionally if you're running the analyzer for a long period of time in continuous mode. This would normally be in a calibration testing lab. So port C is a special port that is not used very often. Okay, moving across to the printer, we do supply spare printer rolls. These printer rolls are standard credit card type machine rolls, so you can buy them from almost anywhere. They're very easy to replace. There's just a feature here where you lift this flap up and the roll of paper will come out, and you can lift it out, fit a new one, close it, and it's ready to go. The most important accessory of all are the couplings that you use to attach to the gas, the GIS, the circuit breaker or the transformer, and they are generally around the world often made by Delo or Dilo, depending how you say it. And so we do supply genuine Delo couplings here, and these are an option, but they are an option that most people include in their purchase, and they are supplied in a bag. And the two most common Delo couplings that are used around the world are a number 8 DN8 and a number 20 DN20. There are, however, other couplings such as 6, 7, 12. These are much less common, but they are available from Cambridge Sensor Tech as an option in our coupling kit accessories. So I'll just open these up. We do supply them in a camera bag just to stop them getting scratched. So this is a DN20, and you can see that it's got a male rectus on it. So with the hose fitted, this would be attached over onto the circuit breaker. The hose would connect on here with the female, and then we would then feed the hose round using the male into the analyzer. Okay, there you go. The DN8 is probably the most common one that we use, and this is a lot smaller than the DN20, as you can see, but they actually have the same connector on the top. This is the part that you connect to your test point, which is the famous Delo tongue and grooved coupling fitting, which minimises or eliminates any gas escaping when you attach it. So this needs to be attached onto the test point, tightened with a spanner, and then you can take the hose and attach the female onto here and the male onto here, and then you are ready to begin the test, as the pressurized gas will now enter the analyzer and we can start doing the testing, which is shown in a different video. So these are quite expensive couplings, and they do need to be kept in good condition. So it's always worth putting them back in their bags when you've finished. These are just transportation pieces of plastic to stop the thread getting damaged, and they get returned into their bags like this. And when we're finished, they can be stored in the analyzer for transportation. Okay, so that is all the accessories and the description of the analyzer completed now. Thank you. Okay, so we've come to the end of this tutorial now. Thank you for watching. If you'd like any more information about this or any of our other products, please visit our website, which is www.sf6.co.uk. And thank you very much once again for watching. Goodbye.